I want you to finish your story.
Yeah.
You saw it in the movies.
I did.
And I was in the movie theater with you.
You were sitting up front.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why you sit there. Who's calling?
Who?
It's Wednesday.
Just give it a second to stop ringing.
Okay.
Like a wireless cow?
A wireless cow.
Is that what it said?
Wireless cattle.
Pretty
Yeah.
Cattle or
wireless
cow?
cows are calling. Hey, could you stop serving us?
Hello, you beautiful freaks, and welcome to a brand new Christmas-filled episode of Freakquents. I'm EJ Leeson, and with me, the co-host of Christmas Past, Rory Calarasi. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I have nothing witty to say. I was listening to you talk, and I'm like, do something about the ghost of Christmas future, and then I'm like, I don't have to.
Nah.
Why am I trying to please everybody all the time?
Right. Well, who cares?
No jokes for you, America.
Also joining us today, no stranger to the show, the extremely talented Mathew Renaldi. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey,
How you doing, buddy?
how's it going?
Good. How about you?
All right. It's good
I'm
to see you.
so pumped to have you back.
I appreciate it.
You're
been-
definitely making our episode thirstier.
Oh, yeah. The thirst count is out there.
Well, where are your drinks if you're thirsty?
Oh,
you're
no.
a man.
Not that kind of thirsty.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're being inappropriate, man.
Yeah, we're like totally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like a thirst trap. That's basically what we're saying.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay. Well, you should still drink some more water.
Right.
Hydrate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Only if you
Quench-
pour it into my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Just rub that ice cube on my face. a
Oh, by the
little
way,
bit.
we're going to need you to sign some stuff later that you
Yeah.
can't sue us for anything we may or may not have said.
No, I am so excited to have you back because
Me too.
all my favorite episodes always have Matt in them.
It's true. He always says that.
Yeah.
Why? I just sit here.
And just the way
That's
you
his
do
thing.
it. It's just so good. You're just so good at it. No, I just like
You're so good at saying nothing.
you're just so good at sitting there and just looking good, being a complete thirst trap. No, but I love having you on. I feel like the funniest episodes, that I always laugh the most, have you on them. I don't know what's up. What's up with that?
It's the energy.
It is, yeah. It's,
It's out of
tension.
control.
It's that tension, the sexual tension. So what are some new movies you guys got to see? Matt, you want to start us off?
You're the guest.
Or
Start us off.
revisit? I know it's the season, so maybe you're revisiting a few.
Maybe you're watching a
movies?
certain TV show that you're a big fan of.
No, I don't recall anything.
Nothing. All right.
No, I haven't really seen anything new. I went back and watched a few Coen Brothers movies.
What'd you watch?
I rewatched No Country
I love it.
and Fargo. Yeah, we had a couple snow days like last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood to watch a Coen Brothers movie, but which one? And then I went on the Apple TV and I saw a Coen Brothers movie. I saw Fargo first, and then I said, okay, well, let's watch No Country for Old Men. So I watched that,
Yeah.
and they still hold up.
Do you like? Did you ever see Blood Simple?
Oh yeah, the first one is really good. That Barton Fink is one of my favorites too. You see that one? John
Yeah.
Turturro and John.
Raising
Barton.
Barton
Arizona.
Fink.
Exactly.
Barton Fink.
Yeah.
That's a Simpsons reference.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
I just wanted you to know.
I'm aware.
I'm a big Raising Arizona fan. I think that was like, just, I don't know why. I just love that movie so much. And is it A Simple Man or something?
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
was really good too, and I need to see that one again.
EJ, I'm gonna have to cut out a lot of your opinions.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it makes sense.
They're just not landing.
No, I know.
Or is it no? Is I think a Serious Man, right?
A Serious Man.
Yeah,
that's
that
it.
one.
Yeah,
We'll cut
That's
that
really
right
good.
out.
yeah, it's a Serious Man. I forget that actor's name, but he's,
Oh, I do too.
This
I
movie's made a huge impression on you. I can
Yeah,
tell.
no, it's really good. It ends with the tornado, and it was really good. I saw it
thinking
in
of Twister.
theaters. Or Twister.
Yeah, you're thinking of Twister, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, but I do love Raising Arizona a lot.
Yeah, I watched that in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I haven't seen like anything new because I'm like, okay, what am I? I'm bored tonight. You know, what am I doing? And I'm like, okay, I'll go to a movie. And then I'm like, you know what? I'd rather not. And I just stay home and I don't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Rory, have you seen anything new?
Yeah, I finally got around to watching some movies that I've been putting off watching for quite some time, making all sorts of excuses not to watch them when I probably should have watched them.
Awesome.
Yeah, I watched from your recommendation pile, Cabaret.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wasn't it outstanding?
it's a really, really wonderful movie.
Yeah. It's crazy. You know that's what's her name? Jennifer Grey. Do you know?
Yeah, from Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, that her father was the head guy in the cabaret
Oh, really?
that does all the songs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her dad, Joel Grey, and he was nominated for that role. As
Okay.
well. Yeah.
It was nice to see that he told the Nazis that they couldn't put him in a corner.
I
That was
I
an
know.
all right joke.
That was good. That was
Yeah,
good.
for all you Cabaret fans
And
out there.
Liza Minnelli, like,
She's great. I like her boyfriend a lot in it. I forget his name.
yeah, he's
he's a
in
very-
Austin
yeah.
Powers. Yeah,
He's got a great speaking voice.
he is outstanding.
Yeah.
he's so good.
No, it's a really good movie for sure, and like I like the fact that it's like these people are trying to like hide away from the realities of life inside of the cabaret, but then like outside there's like because it takes, for everyone who hasn't seen this at home, it takes place when the Nazi party is sort of rising up.
Yes, on
And
the rise.
they're kind of
Yeah.
seen more as like an annoyance, buffoons, if you will.
Right.
So much to the point that you could just throw one out of a club, which
Yeah.
everybody should have been doing that right along, but whatever.
Exactly.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm not the.
But then at one point you see, like them fighting in the streets, and the one guy's like, "Oh, we can control them. It's not going to be a problem."
Yeah.
Then later on, they're out for like that brunch, and everybody stands up and starts singing. And
That's
like,
a very upsetting scene.
It's awful.
It's awful because they're like,
Yeah.
you just see the people who don't stand up.
Or shaking their heads.
Yeah, because it's
And they're
basically
older. Yeah, like
and they're likely Jewish, and
Right.
they're just like that one guy has that look on his face like, oh fuck, like, here we go.
yeah, yeah.
You know. But no, the movie, it does a really good job of illustrating that sometimes it's like people don't like to pay attention to what's going on in the world. They try to hide away from it, but then eventually, at that last shot in the movie when
yeah.
the Nazis are all like in the front row.
Yeah.
Like they
It's-
were at a point where they could get kicked out, but now it's like we have the best seats in the house, and it's very very good final shot. It's kind of
Yeah.
warped looking too.
Yeah,
the
because
shot.
you see it through like the tiles.
Yeah,
like
it's
the glass
really
tile. Oh, so
it's like a
good.
warped reality type of thing. You
Yeah.
know? But it's a really, really wonderful, powerful little movie.
Yeah, I would say like it's cool to watch because you see how progressive Berlin was at the time, right? Like with
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like Moulin Rouge a little bit.
yeah, like you see, there are like people who are trans or gay or just all walks of
everything.
life hanging out at the cabaret, but just in that area. And then slowly you see like how something terrible kind of uprises in the background, and then it becomes more and more in the in their face, and it's a great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some of the more powerful moments in it are like they're driving by. It just looks like a really horrific beating had happened, and there's
Yeah.
like a bunch of Nazis standing around, and like their victims are likely dead.
Right.
But then they're just kind of having a conversation about dinner or something. Like
Yeah.
it's just like they're trying to have normal lives while this like horrific shit's happening. So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen Cabaret, if you're looking for the comedy of the century,
Yeah.
it's there for you.
And it touches on other subjects that are kind of like relevant for today, like the relationship of her and him and what she has to go through towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh wow, it's crazy.
What I liked about their relationship is that there's another layer to like the Nazis invading, say, like that particular area that they live, but it also kind of invaded their relationship.
Yeah.
And it seduced them the way that it did the country, and it's very like, you know, it could even pollute love and destroy it, and you're just like, man, that's a really like powerful thing to do in a movie, and they show it very well. Like it all works. Would you ever see that before?
I have not.
Oh,
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's really
just
really
like
good.
me, you should put it off for about a year and a half, and then get around to watching it.
Yeah.
I also watched for the first time. It took a long time for me to see this movie, but I can finally say that I've seen Risky Business.
Oh, you've never seen it
I've
before?
never seen it.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What a great little movie. I love that movie.
I love that movie. It's so good.
I love characters. I've said this a few times on this podcast. I like characters that are not like squeaky clean.
Yeah.
Because like Tom Cruise, you're like, this is your hero, but he's also kind of like in that morally gray area.
Yeah, he's great, and I love Curtis Armstrong in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're gonna get beat up by Guido, the killer pimp, you know. And I just what's his name? Balky, his real name, I forget.
Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah, he is great in the movie too. And I don't know, everybody in that movie is just but Tom Cruise, like that made him a star, and it makes sense.
It's very like John Hughesian in a sense, but then it's like the plot kind of
like
turns it on its head. Yeah. One little thing I will say though, I do like that they show the whole, because I'm sure most people have seen this movie, so it's not a spoiler. But just like the whole prostitution angle of it,
right?
They're not like terribly judgmental about it. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very like, it's not like the butt of a mini joke. Like they're not like punching down.
Yeah.
Even like when that guy shows up, because like he thinks he calls a girl, and then this guy shows up and he's like wearing a wig and a dress and stuff. It's not played for like it's not mean spirited.
Right.
He's just like, oh, I think you're looking for this girl. She's what you're looking for. Like it's very, it gives him cab money and sends him home, and I'm like, all right, like this movie is a little ahead of its time.
Yeah. No,
Tom Cruise rocks. I just unapologetically love Tom Cruise.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And I do love what you're saying. Like it's true. It doesn't really punch down at like the profession. You know what I mean? It's a really good movie.
That scene when he opens up the door and he sees that it's like not a girl. Like any other movie, maybe even during the 80s, probably would have been like really like mean spirited about it. But this movie was just kind of like, it was a little more sympathetic than I was expecting.
Yeah, and great. I'm like, that dance scene is legendary.
Dun, 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 dun. Don't sue us.
Don't sue us. But what else did you catch up on?
Well, I also watched Cat People.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I know it's a Criterion.
it is,
but I have not watched it, and I don't own it. Is it worth it? Like
yeah.
getting?
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
yeah.
It's a very good movie. I mean, it's like it almost feels like it could have belonged within like the Universal Monsters catalog.
Oh, okay.
But it was, definitely worth watching. I don't want to ruin too much about it, but
yeah,
it feels like a Universal monster movie. And then what's weird is that the next night I watched this movie. This is the last one I'll talk about. Another Criterion called The Seventh Victim.
I have not seen that either.
Yeah,
what's that about?
So it's basically like, so there's this girl in a boarding house, right?
Yes.
Boarding school, I should say.
Okay.
And they call her into the office, and they're like, "We don't know how to tell you this, but your sister's missing." And she's like, "Oh golly!" No, she doesn't say that. But it's of that time.
Thank God.
I hate her. But basically, it's sort of like, they're like, "Oh, your sister's been missing. She stopped paying your tuition. You're sisterless. Get out of our office." Is what I think the line in the movie.
Okay.
But anyway, she like basically goes to like the sister's little town area, like looking for her, and it's kind of like a mystery. But then it's like they find her, and it's the sister joined like a satanic cult.
Called The Cat People?
No, this is called The Seventh Victim.
Oh, this. Oh, okay.
Different movie.
I was like, wait, where's the cat people
But,
coming in?
hey,
Okay, Seventh
This
Victim.
is all right
Sorry.
though. This is all right though because I watched Cat People the night before I watched this one. Right.
Okay, yeah.
And it turns out it is a loose prequel.
What?
Yeah,
Is that
because,
for real?
For real, because the psychiatrist is the same character in both movies apparently.
Oh.
And I was like, that's fascinating. So you weren't terribly wrong.
Oh my god.
You're like 50%
That's really
wrong.
crazy.
That's a good percentage. But both movies are really cool. It's like they during that time period, having a movie deal with like a satanic group, like it's like a little like rich people drinking some sort of evil wine or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh yes, we worship Satan. Yes. It's like, well, you're a piece of shit. Like, oh, I suppose we are. And then they show them up.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Suppose we are. So good.
But that's well, maybe I'll save this one for later. The only other thing I'll say is while I did Jesus.
Jeez.
How many
No,
movies did you
we haven't
watch?
even gotten the EJ yet. Come on.
Yeah, we
man.
did.
Did we?
Yeah.
No, I didn't
No,
go
he
yet.
didn't talk.
You didn't
about
go
it.
yet?
No.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
I don't have to.
Last little
Wrap
thing.
it up.
Jesus.
Jesus.
You know what? That's fine. We'll move on.
No,
It's all good.
I want to hear the last one.
I wouldn't want to hog up the show.
I gave you two movies. That's all I gave you. Two
Well,
movies.
that's on you, though.
Yeah,
You could have talked about The Price is Right. What the fuck you're watching? You brought it up before the show started. I gave you a gateway to talk about that.
I
Family
also
Feud.
don't have a
Family Feud.
notebook
Family Feud,
with,
yeah.
Yeah.
with everything. I don't have a notebook.
You don't want to come prepared? That's fine.
I don't.
I never do.
I just show up wrapped in a blanket.
Hey, all I was gonna say is that last episode, and this is just a shameless way for me to plug this movie again. I was talking about American movie.
Yes. Yeah.
So all I've been watching lately are like interviews with modern day Mark Borchardt and like old Mike Shank interviews and
Did you
listening
see his
to commentaries.
run on David Letterman and stuff
Yeah,
too?
of course I did.
Of course, yeah.
And
It's so good.
yeah, I've just been fell down that rabbit hole again. It happens to me every so often. I just get obsessed with that movie again. But hey, everybody at home, watch American movie. EJ, what'd you watch?
So I saw.
Oh, and then I saw this other movie. No, I'm kidding.
I saw one movie and I really, really want to promote it because it's not doing well in theaters. I guess it didn't make a lot of money, but it's called Y2K. I actually saw it like three times.
I did see that.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah, I just didn't mention it because I was underwhelmed with it.
Oh
No, we could talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I
It was
ended up.
$5. I paid $5.
Hey,
Yeah.
America, you're about to hear two polarizing opinions.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really, really funny. I could see where you're coming from because it is a first-time director, but at the same time, I don't know. I really enjoyed a lot of the music in it and just like how stuff kind of played out. I don't know.
No,
I really liked it.
I was into it. I stayed.
I want that to be a review of the movie, like on the poster. I was into it. I stayed.
It's like 2 stars. I stayed. Matt Renaldi.
I stayed.
Oh my god. No, but I saw this movie 3 times already. I like really liked it a lot. There was not a lot of comedies that came out this year, so I feel like I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was that age, 99, 2000. So I saw a lot of myself. So I was into it. I was like you said, the music soundtrack. I was like, oh yeah, all right. I like how it opens too with the AOL.
Oh my
message.
god.
Yeah, all of that. So
Yeah.
I was into it, but yeah, it was fine.
You should join
Yeah.
Adam Farley on AOL AIM.
Yeah.
I know. I keep meaning to.
Yeah, he's on there.
Him and Jim Reynolds.
I know the only
yeah.
back and forth.
Hey, you guys should look up Adam Farley on
Yeah.
AOL. Tell him how funny he is.
What is it? Boogaloo Shrimp 01?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then check out his music on Spotify.
Hell
Check out
yeah.
his new song, Carson Song.
It's really good.
It'll grab your
banger.
heart.
Yeah.
Not like Temple of Doom grab your heart, but a different kind of more comforting way.
I did like the parents. I'm a big Tim Heidecker
yeah.
fan, and so I used to love like Tim and Eric, and so like seeing him, I was like, oh hell yeah! And then Alicia Silverstone, which is awesome, and other people. I don't want to like
Yeah. Are you okay with knowing that, Rory?
I didn't listen to anything you
Good.
guys said.
Good.
I was just thinking about what I was going to buy at the store.
But I did enjoy a lot of the comedy in it, you know, and like the cameo stuff, and yeah, I don't know.
I'll see it this weekend.
Go see it.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. I think you.
I love how like you're
appreciate it.
like I could see in your face like you're just like, oh, I really really love this, but
And Matt
just hates it.
Yeah, he's just like, I want to stick a fork in
That's
that.
fine. I don't like most things.
It's okay. That's why we have you on the show.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. You like something.
You
Yeah,
do
I do.
like
You
some
love
stuff.
at least something that we might talk about today.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of it,
Speaking of, you came in wearing the blanket
only that.
of this movie. Where did you get that?
I can't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Gutter garbs.
Gutter garbs.
Gotcha.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's always cold in here.
It is.
I thought it
always
was
cold.
appropriate, so I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring it, and stay warm. I try to.
And this is one of your favorite films?
Yeah.
That's
Ever.
probably
Something.
pretty consistently been your favorite movie, right? As long
Yeah.
as I can think. I remember you saw this movie and you were just like over the moon about it, and I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like Ghostbusters might be the only thing that gives it a run for its money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of those
close.
adult films you like too.
But this would be in your top 5 like favorite movies of all time.
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, I watch it every year, Christmas Eve, but this year because it's the 50th anniversary, there was a few screenings like last week.
And which movie are we talking about?
I don't know.
EJ, what movie are we talking
We're
about?
talking about the original Black Christmas because
From 1974.
fun fact, this movie was remade twice.
Yeah.
One is kind of has ties to this. The other one does not at all.
And I didn't even bother with it.
Oh, the second
But
one?
yeah, I just wanted us to talk about what we were talking about today, which movie, because I want you to finish your story.
Yeah.
You saw it in the movies.
I did.
And I was in the movie theater with you.
You were sitting up front.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I want you to explain to me why you sit that close to the screen. What is wrong with you?
Because here's the trick of it. I sit towards the front, and it's like not so close to the front that it distorts the picture. It gives you the full view of the movie, but has the perk of keeping me away from the public. And I don't really like sitting around moviegoers because they like to talk and play on their phone. So, Matt, I'm going to ask you, what happened to you during the screening? Who sat next to you?
A bunch of kids.
A bunch of kids, and what did they do?
They're on their phone.
You know who didn't hear it? Me.
Yeah, but there was a person on the other end in your row, and I laughed because I was
was
like,
alone.
"Oh, yeah, exactly."
Yeah, that was funny.
And I did at one time. I think I tried sitting there with you, and it's so uncomfortable. Like I felt I was like in a time warp. Like my head was going to explode. I'm like, I don't know how. So I had to remember, and I moved back a few rows. I just can't do it. It's like, I don't know.
Didn't someone sit on your lap?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm telling you, like you sit in those rows and people don't come up to them. And like I get to actually enjoy movies because the second I'm in like the middle of the theater, that's when all the animals come in. And you just cannot get them to stop talking, playing on their phone. They like pay like $20 to go to the movies to just sit there and just talk. They're not even looking at the screen.
The seats only recline back so far, and my neck gets all stiff and I'm uncomfortable. I can't sleep. You know, I just don't understand. And I wanted to sit next to you. Yeah, okay, I get it. There was a bunch of teens that came in, and it was annoying, and they were on their phone. But then they kept like getting up and like ducking down and like walking in front of me. Like,
Yeah, they were like running around the theater.
It doesn't make a
Yeah.
difference. Like, yeah, exactly.
I have a question. why do like 90-pound teenagers run up the stairs and it's like they
horse
weigh
is
like
running up.
Yeah, it's like a stampede of elephants. It's like,
It's like what? It's like
And
you
I'm like-
picture like Simba cowering.
yeah,
The
I'm like,
animal.
I can run down the stairs and it doesn't make any noise. And these guys are like running up and down stairs.
I have
and
a theory. They
What is
wanted you to hear them.
okay,
Like they're doing that on purpose.
okay,
Like
Oh,
they're
obnoxious. They're
Yeah.
obnoxious.
okay.
And
I was
um,
like, why does that happen? Because I've been to the movies a bunch of times where teenagers are just like running up and down the stairs. Like throughout the whole movie, and it's like, I'm like, what the fuck's going
yeah,
on?
and you'd expect it to be like a 900-pound person, and you turn around and
literally-
it's like a girl, like a strong breeze would blow her away.
yeah,
And
like, what is that?
I don't know, but I the only way that they can make that sound is if they're trying.
Yeah, they have to be like, I'm giving every step, everything I got.
I have a bad relationship with my parents, and now it's your problem.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I understand though. I think I know what it is. Because when I was a kid, I used to go into movies with my friend, and we would just laugh. And I remember being at Titanic during the end scene, and my friend and I were just laughing, and the people in front were like really pissed off at us because we're laughing at Leonardo DiCaprio like floating down, and like everybody's crying, and we were laughing. So now this is what I get,
So it's like karma.
25 years later, yeah, or whatever. Me sitting there trying to watch my favorite movie in the theater because I don't go out often, and when I do, I want to enjoy it. And then these stupid teens are like hopping and doing like backflips in the row like every 5 minutes, and I'm just trying to like watch.
Look what I could do.
And basically,
Like
And
rolling
it-
a trampoline in.
yeah, it's fine. I mean, I've seen the movie so many times. That's not the point. The point is, sit down, get
Yeah.
off your phone, or to leave the theater. Just I want to watch it in peace.
My friend who works there, who's a manager there, says the new thing is they're taking TikToks of themselves seeing a movie.
Why do
that's
they
like
have to
a
pick
new-
Black Christmas? I don't understand it. There's so
yeah.
many movies playing that night.
Dude.
This
You're starting at the wrong place here. Why would you do that with any movie?
Right,
What is
yeah.
that? And who sets these trends?
It's a trend. I don't know.
It is the
I don't
dumbest shit.
get it. Yeah, but
It's like when people like go to concerts and they're like not facing the band and they have the band over their shoulder and they're recording themselves, and I'm like, are you enjoying your time here?
yeah, I don't think they. I don't
Do you
know.
care?
Yeah.
Like when I see like a band or a movie that I love, it's like going to church. You know what I mean? Like I'm just sitting there like taking it in, and every second of it means so much to me. And I just see people pissing away all this money to just do nothing. Like they just like go in and they complain. Like they're just like talking. They're on their phone. They're running around apparently like
Yeah.
like a herd of animals.
Yeah. It's crazy. I have no idea.
Hey, this podcast just turned into a bunch of old men complaining about the youth
But
of today.
I sit down towards the front too, like in that
I know.
like, third row, kind of like from the screen, and I like it because I feel like really immersed and like,
me too.
It just feels, and I feel like I catch more, like I see more, and
I don't know. I see blobs.
It's weird. Yeah, no. I mean, it makes sense. Like I get it, but yeah, for me, it's really like I feel really into the movie, and it's hard for me to get distracted because it's like right there in front of my face.
I agree.
But I like there are times where I do sit with like friends in the back. Well, most of the time, if I'm by myself, I sit up front like that. But if I'm
trench
with like
coat.
other people, I'll sit like towards the back, and I always feel like there's someone doing something that I'm like, oh man,
Fuck
why? Yeah, why is this happening?
The last time I sat that close, it was like for an advanced screening of The Flash, and I'm telling you, I was in the first row. Like my body was touching the screen, and it was the most agonizing 2 hours of my life.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, hey, it's free, and
Yeah.
you're seeing it like a month before everybody else. Stay, endure it. And I don't understand why they did it. It
Based
was
on
terrible.
the box office, I think you were the only person who saw it.
Oh, not in that screening.
Didn't
It was
do so
like
hot.
everybody in the DC area was there.
Well, it's because it's a DC movie. Sorry.
How did you feel seeing it? Did you enjoy
Dude,
that movie or no?
I can't tell you because everybody was just kind of morphing together, blobs. I was like inside the Flash's nose. I was like, again, like my face was touching the screen. Like that's how close I was. Like actually, it was uncomfortable.
I was stuck in the Speed Force the whole time.
That's what it looked like. The entire movie was me in the Speed Force, man. How do you enjoy a movie like that? I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Why are those seats there? Dude, this was an IMAX theater.
Yeah. So you're not seeing anything.
Yeah.
No. That's definitely.
I don't understand. Yeah, especially for IMAX. Like, why are those seats there?
Can I tell you the weirdest?
Who's down there every time?
It's prime seating. Seating.
Can I tell you the weirdest thing that ever happened to me in an IMAX? It's like Becca and I went to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And again, speaking of being very immersed in a movie, I was like, this is amazing. So I like to sit during the credits and listen to the music.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there doing that, and this guy walks up to the front of the screen, and it's literally that moment where you're like, oh, this guy's going to shoot us. Like, this is the moment.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like, he's just, like, waving for his friends to take photos of him. I don't get it.
It's a big deal.
I guess.
It was Oppenheimer.
But why not do it when, like, the title screen came up? This is just, like...
You probably
like, oh, wow, he's, like, his head's next to the best boy. I don't quite understand what he was doing. But for a second there, I look over back and I'm like, well, this is the end of our lives. Yeah. He's just going to pull his jacket open. There's going to be a bunch of bombs.
There's a possibility, devil's advocate, that he was the best boy in that movie.
Oh, and he was just like, guys,
he was like, all right, now's the time. Go ahead, take a picture.
Okay.
Maybe.
He showed up to our screening.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
Because it was in Philly, right?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Where was it?
Your theory's unraveling.
Oh, no. Was this in Dixon City?
It was.
Oh, okay. Then I don't
Oppenheimer,
know.
Yeah, so. No, but I like your idea, though.
Yeah. I mean,
some guy's like, I worked on this.
Yeah.
Like I was kicked off the set of this movie or something.
Yeah, I was on my phone. Christopher Nolan does not like that.
I charged the craft table.
And Christopher Nolan's like, get off my set.
What are you doing?
I'll still give you the credit.
If you're devouring the craft table, you're not working.
Yeah. If you're sitting, you're not standing and cleaning or whatever. What is that from The Founder? If you have time to lean, you have time to clean, right?
From The Founder, that's like what your grandpa says.
I just remember Michael Keaton saying that in The Founder when he was working at McDonald's. That's a great movie, by the way. I love that movie. Yeah. It's really, really underrated. I feel like a lot of people should see that movie. It's great.
Let's just start talking about this movie.
All right, yeah. So today we're talking about Black Christmas. And it's directed by Bob Clark, who directed one of the most legendary Christmas movies of all time, which is A Christmas Story about Ralphie and everything.
Ralphie and everything?
I don't know.
That's a good description.
Just Ralphie. You'll know the reference. They play it every Christmas day.
Yeah, you've seen
24 hours.
A few times.
But he directed this movie, Black Christmas, and you could tell... he's a very skilled director.
Oh, for sure. An interesting thing about him is that he managed to make a movie that takes place on Christmas that's absolutely like heartfelt and funny.
Yeah.
And then he also made A Christmas Story.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. No, but in all seriousness, like he managed to like make a movie that's like really scary with Black Christmas, because it really is like a genuinely like unnerving movie when you really sit down and watch it. But then he managed to make like a funny, heartwarming like comedy on Christmas. Two completely different emotional responses from the same holiday, and I just think that's really something.
Yeah.
He's very, very underrated, that fella.
No, but you're totally right. Like, one is very wholesome and it's a family film that like families celebrate and have like memorabilia and go visit the real house, like the Ralphie house or whatever. What's Ralphie's last name? I forget. But anyway, so go visit in Ohio, like the real house, and it just has such a huge impact on our pop culture.
Sure.
Especially for the holiday. And then to go and like kind of start off doing like a horror movie that's really, really good and comes off like really creepy and eerie. So to have like two different styles like that is really impressive.
You know what I really like about this movie is that you feel it.
Oh my God.
You feel the cold. Like it just like the way that everything's shot, like it just looks very real to me. It doesn't have a lot of that like Hollywood artifice to it.
Exactly. There are shots in this movie that it just blows me away.
Yeah.
Like I like this is a movie everyone should watch because I feel like there's such an appreciation that you can have just for the filmmaking aspect, and all the performances are outstanding too. I love the guy from 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah, man.
Here, he
was at a Monster Mania the one time.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. He was like real nice.
You met him?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I charged that table.
Did you get?
It was from Black Christmas.
For Black Christmas,
I
yeah.
know.
No, that's awesome. I think like
I feel like at the time though, like because this is a long time ago. Like today, I would have been like 2001: A Space Odyssey, but
right. But I mean, you made the right choice. This movie is still awesome, and he's great in this.
Yeah,
too.
he's a very interesting character for me.
Yeah,
because he's like kind of
awesome.
like. Well, we'll talk about him. We'll get to him.
there.
We'll talk about his actions,
So this
which
film
will dictate his character. But go on.
The film begins with Silent Night playing and a shot of the Pi Kappa Sig sorority house.
Filmed very much like Halloween.
And yeah, we have this POV shot of someone kind of watching from the outside. Inside, we get to meet Barb, played by the great Margot Kidder.
Great.
She is
Margot,
outstanding in this movie.
She's like acting circles around everybody in this.
Yeah.
Like she's like such a movie star. Like you can totally understand why she had the career that she had.
Yeah. She has like that Lois Lane charisma.
She does.
Like, and I don't know. It's weird because I haven't seen a Lois Lane as great as her.
I don't know if you ever will. It's almost like she and Christopher Reeve, they just put a stamp.
Yeah, that, like
so
it's
firmly.
Impossible. Like I you know,
it's cool with her portrayal of Lois Lane. Like I like that in extreme circumstances, Superman kind of has to fly in and help her out, but like she is so capable. Like she's such a strong character.
She never once gives you like the feeling that she can't protect herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she is just throwing herself into any danger all the time.
And I feel like so much of that character was probably like developed by her. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Like she, because you get that energy in this movie.
Yes. This movie, Barb, is such a cool character.
She's my favorite character in the whole damn thing.
Yeah. I would say I like Fuller a lot.
Fuller, the cops.
Yeah, John Saxon. Yeah. He's great.
Well, John Saxon's just like
he's rules.
He's another one like that guy. You look at his face and you're like, I get why you're a movie star.
Oh yeah,
hanging out with Bruce Lee, Robert Englund. The guy's had like such an awesome friggin' career.
Yeah, he's great.
Playing tough asses.
But we see inside that we meet Barb, Margot Kidder, Phil, who's played by Andrea Martin, Jess Bradford, who's played by Olivia Hussey. Is that how you say
I always thought it was
Hussey. She's famous for like Romeo and Juliet,
and also Psycho 4.
Yeah. Do you know that this is Steve Martin's like one of his favorite movies? He saw this like over like 20 sometimes. He I guess like later on in Only Murders in the Building, Andrea Martin was on that show, but he has said like he saw this movie like over 20 times in theaters.
Dude, it's one of those movies like I saw it. I don't know if I was in my 20s yet. I'm not sure, but I just remember watching it and being like, "This is special."
Yeah,
it's like that thought that went through my head where I'm like, "This is like somebody actually like putting the work into this horror movie," and it's so much of what's not seen that makes it scary, and that's such a great fucking approach. You know, because like the way this movie ends, I've talked to so many people, and we'll get to the ending, but
yeah,
there's so many people I've talked to that are just like, why did it end that way? And I'm like, because like, not everything needs to be wrapped up with a Christmas bow.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So they're all having a little bit of a Christmas party when Barb gets a call from her mother, and that's when the voyeur enters through the attic.
Wait, what does she call her mom? She's like, you're a real gold-plated whore.
yeah.
She's like, what the fuck?
What?
All right.
Barb. So Barb is Margot Kidder, and she is pretty great throughout this whole movie. She has some great lines. But yeah, so we see where this voyeur who's outside kind of watching them all inside, he enters, like he climbs up the side of the house, and he enters through the attic.
She's like Sam from Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah, basically. So and so he enters through the attic, and then we see him like kind of enter the house itself. Then we see where Jess gets a call, and they have a nickname for this person who's been calling them. And
was it Reagan McNeil? Is that what they call her?
The moaner.
Oh.
They're like, oh, we got the moaner on the phone again.
It sounds like possessed Reagan.
It does. It really is. Like, it's so, yeah. It's like, but, yeah.
What's up?
It was like the first time she ever answered a phone before.
I know. She's like, hello?
Hello! Yeah, some of Olivia Hussey's choices are so... Like, they need like a 50%, and she's about like at a 90.
Yeah. She definitely... So the moaner is making a lot of obscene kind of gestures and saying a lot of obscene stuff.
And then Barb is just like, well, he's expanded his act.
Yeah, she's just not affected by this at all. Where the other girls are like, whoa, you know, like he's saying some, because he's like, you fucking pig slut. Yeah, and he's just like talking, like just saying all this stuff. And then the phone call ends with, I'm going to kill you.
Chilling.
Right? And it's really chilling. And we see where, you know, Barb kind of provokes the caller a little bit. And the other girls, especially Claire, tells her to, like, stop doing that. You're, like, provoking them, and you're going to make it worse. And Barb's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Nothing bad's going to come from this.
Yeah. So Claire heads upstairs and starts packing. And I remember, like, watching this movie for the first time thinking, oh, Claire's going to be the main character.
She's almost set up to be.
Right. So you automatically, you're like, oh, she's, like, the level-headed one.
Yeah.
Who is going to make all the right choices.
Can't be that girl that's overacting downstairs.
Right. And she heads upstairs. She starts packing. And that's when we meet Claude, the house cat.
Which is
this
probably the best character in the
looking
movie.
cat. Yeah. It's adorable.
Dude, I was going to be so mad at you if you didn't mention that
Claude.
cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Claude's my favorite character.
Yeah. And as she's, like, packing, we see, like, a POV from the closet watching her, and that's when the killer strikes, killing Claire, popping out of the closet with, like, the plastic, and it's awesome. So
you know what's, like, what's really cool about it too is that, like, it doesn't have, like, that stupid modern way of doing it where it's just like a loud, like, it's just sort of like it's very, like, abrupt, and it feels real, and it's very disturbing.
And the thing with we forgot to mention this too, is like the voyeur kind of like entering the house is like breathing very heavily. So every time you cut to him, you pretty much hear his breathing, and it's like
It's more like hey, by the way, another thing too is that it might John Carpenter may have had a little bit of a inspiration.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah.
Like,
Michael's a bit of a breather.
Yeah. Oh,
a
absolutely.
loud breather.
Yeah, a mouth breather.
You might need one of those sleep apnea masks.
Yeah. But downstairs, the girls are busy because Mrs. Mack returns home, and she's kind of giving off like a little bit of a fashion show of like the stuff she just bought. And
she looks like the penguin.
She does. She really does. Like, she enters like Oswald Cobblepot. She's like, rah, 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 rah. And the phone rings, and now it's Jess's boyfriend Peter, and she's like, I think we need to meet up. I have a serious talk. Like, I want to have like a serious talk. There's something going on. And he's like, oh, I've just been up the last few days, just doing stuff. And, and like practicing, doing all this stuff. And she's like, okay, whatever, and
Whatever, man.
Whatever. And then we have Miss Mac. We have to talk about her for a second, who may or may not have a drinking problem, because we see where
she's
she
like
has,
Homer Simpson.
She literally
with all
has
the beers,
alcohol like stored everywhere in this house. We see where she goes to like a book in the library and pulls out like a full bottle there.
For
booze.
And then
I love that gag of like a book being hollowed out to store booze. Like that's very funny. There's a lot of like really funny little visual gags in this movie.
Oh, there are. Like, especially later on when Claire's father shows up and he sees the room for the first time. There's a lot of really funny like
Tommy
visual
Wiseau
stuff.
movie?
Oh yeah, The Room.
When they're all watching the room together.
But we also see where she stores alcohol in like the back of a toilet tank as well.
Homer Simpson does that.
Which maybe they got that from this though.
Maybe.
You never know.
I like to think so. Or like a real life alcoholic.
Yeah. And I love that Jess goes to check on Claire, but we see that Claire is like very dead. Like, she has like that plastic over her face.
Wonderful visual.
I was just gonna say, what a crazy like visual, because that like stays with you, and they use it for like the poster and stuff. And
give us a spin, Matt.
Yeah, that's blanket. But yeah, so the next day we see Claire's father, Mr. Harrison, who is waiting to meet Claire, and he starts to grow concerned on how late she is. And luckily, this one student who has like this long hair points him in the right direction. And I was like, who is that guy? Because he looked so familiar. Was he in anything else, or was that just like a random extra?
Canadian actor?
Yeah, was it?
Oh,
I don't know. He looked so familiar, and I'm like, who is this guy? And I'm like, oh, he has like no other part.
Did he like pelt that old man in the head with a snowball?
Someone did, yeah. I think it was one of the kids.
Doesn't
right?
he shake it off? He's like, oh, sorry, man.
Yeah.
Like, why is he throwing snowballs at people?
What the hell is that about? But at the house, Phil's boyfriend is dressed as Santa, and I kind of love him.
Ho, shit.
And his unfiltered, like Santa around the kids, and he's great, but he's not in it enough. I feel like I wish he was in it a little bit more.
All these characters are like they're just so fun. Like, they're not like flat characters.
No, I think that's what's great is like these characters, they're not cannon fodder. They're not just getting killed off like left and right. They actually have a lot of
character.
Yeah, like a lot of character, and you kind of know a lot about them. I feel like they each bring, a lot to the table. Where a lot of horror movies are kind of setting up characters like, oh, don't like this person because they do this, and then they get killed, and you're like, I don't really care. They sucked anyways, right? Where this makes you kind of care about all of the characters. Which
or like
is
it just
awesome.
makes you want to spend time with them.
Yeah, like Barb is awesome. Like, again, she's at this party, and she is just like drinking as Phil's boyfriend is just like talking all this shit to the kids and stuff. And so it's awesome. So then we get where Mrs. Mack meets Claire's father, who's upset with some of the stuff at the house. And I love how she's like trying to block like some of the posters.
Yeah.
And
it's
my
like
favorite
two naked
one is
bodies.
like the old lady giving the middle finger. I love it. I need that poster. It's so cool.
She's like, I like that she has her hand on like the poster of the two naked people making the peace sign.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just like, again, like, it's just like you don't need that kind of stuff in this movie, but it's like fun that it's there.
Yeah. And then we see where Mrs. Mack offers to help Mr.
When you keep saying Mrs. Mack, I just keep thinking of Mac's mom, and It's Always Sunny.
But she offers to help Mr. Harrison look for Claire. And as she gets ready to take Mr. Harrison to town, she complains about her job. It's actually like a really good scene though, because she's like, "Oh yeah," and then I love how she's like flipping him off, like doing like behind his back and stuff. And I don't know, she's great in this movie.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's a really cool character.
For a raging drunk, she's pretty funny.
Yeah. So then we see where Jess tells her boyfriend Peter that she's actually pregnant, and she meets him at like the
conservatory.
Yeah, and he's playing the piano, and she's like, "Yeah, He's like, he kind of wants to keep the baby, but she actually wants to have an abortion, and
which again, like 1974, pretty level-headed conversation on the matter.
What I thought it was
conflicting
like
opinions,
progressive.
Yeah,
like and what she says like makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have the baby because of this, and this, because it's going to affect my future. Where he's like, I want to keep the baby. You know what I mean?
I want to teach it to play the piano.
And I love how he's like, oh yeah, I want to keep it, but you know what? Can you get out of here? Because I need to keep practicing the piano.
He's like, why would you?
He immediately like kicks her out.
Yeah, like he's so emotional.
Yeah, he's
like, why would you bring this up to me now?
Now,
you know those snooty Juilliard guys are watching me.
You know they are. So
that's did we get to? No, we'll get there.
Yeah,
when he's actually like playing. I love his acting when he's playing the piano. We'll get there, America. Hold your fucking horses.
At the house, Jess gets another weird call, and we kind of hear like the names Billy and Agnes. Now, in the first remake, they really focus on those characters like Billy and Agnes. Matt, I have a question. Did you see both remakes or just the one?
Both.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You saw both of them?
Yes.
I heard that second one sucks.
Terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Like,
I tried.
Yeah, I know.
I saw you like really struggling right there. You like closed your eyes and you're like, I can't find a single good thing about this movie.
I went to see it in theaters and
like
I
on
just
a dare?
did not. No, I was like, oh, Black Christmas, cool. I'll go see it, and then it was not cool, and I was really bummed. It had nothing to do with either movie.
So you, sir, Mr. Matt Renaldi, sent me a message that said, hey, guess what? They're remaking Black Christmas again. And we had a kind of a snarky conversation about it. And then the movie came out, and I'm like, there's like 3 or 4 other movies that actually deserve my money.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see it. You know what I mean?
You made the right choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, like if I just want to punish myself or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like,
you
I
know
gotta
what?
atone
One day
for
for this podcast, we'll probably have to cover it because we did the
next year for Christmas.
Yeah, next year for Christmas we'll cover that one.
Yeah, it'll be the first podcast to end with a gunshot.
Yeah,
and one dead host.
I feel like there's no thought put into it, right? It was,
no.
And I do think the production was maybe 6 months. It wasn't very long. I forget the director. I forget her other work, but I was reading about it, and I know that they got it together in less than a year, and it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like I forgot about it, to be honest, but yeah, it's not good, man.
Yeah, it's just a rough, and I think the story is just not there. There's like no story in this in the last remake. I mean, it's kind of a story, but not really. It's pretty bad. Anyways.
I hope the director's listening right now.
Yeah.
Like, like, maybe Freakquents like my one.
Yeah.
Oh.
But at the
I
police
tried
station,
so hard. That was the best I could do.
But at the police station, Barb, Phil, and Mr. Harrison report Claire missing. And Barb,
is this when Barb is like pouring like alcohol into that kid's mouth?
Yeah, Barb is easily the coolest character. So she's at the police station, and what's his name? Nash, yeah. Sergeant Nash is like, all right, what's your number? And so she's like, oh, it's FE. And then he's like, okay. And then he writes down like fellatio, basically. And
she's like, it's a new exchange.
It's a new exchange. And he's like, oh, okay. And totally buys it and writes it down. But she is so great in this movie. Anyways, Jess asks Claire's boyfriend if he saw Claire who also is like, no, I haven't seen her. And because at the police station, Nash kind of like brushes it off. He's like, oh, she's probably gone with the boyfriend somewhere, right? Doesn't take it serious at all. Kind of
Isn't
brushes
like the
them.
dad just kind of like, oh, that doesn't make me feel better, asshole.
Right, yeah, like basically. And so then we see over at Peter's recital, he's playing the piano, and it is some of the worst piano playing I have ever seen. It's so bad. Like, it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
He's just like, and like
He's like sweating.
he's sweating.
He's panicking.
And he's just like
He's filled with too much emotion.
hitting it. Like,
His angst.
yeah. He's like raging against the piano.
I don't know. I was headbanging. Listen to that? I'm like, that's what I like.
I don't know. It sounded really bad.
I
But
love that he just blows it.
yeah,
But he looks like he's like, it's really like every time he hits those keys, it's killing him a little inside.
It reminded me of the Paula Abdul video where like those guys are like sitting back there watching her, and they're back there, they're just watching him. And he's playing the piano. It's like, it's a cold-hearted snake. Look into my eyes. Anyways,
Now Paula Abdul's gonna ask for some money.
yeah, she's gonna. Oh, damn it. So sue us for what?
Sue me for what?
So then at the police station, Claire's boyfriend, Chris, he bursts in, he's pissed off, and he's like, no one's looking for Claire. And that's when we meet Lieutenant
They gave
Ken
you a
Fuller.
story, didn't check it out.
Yeah, he didn't check it out.
I love
Yeah,
his
he's-
coat.
Yeah,
His coat's
coat is
awesome.
dope.
It
Wait.
looks like he's wearing Harry Henderson.
Yeah, it really does. It's like this
It's very 70s.
giant fur, like brown fur coat. It's huge.
I also like that his.
It looks like
Canadian
Sylvester
accent.
Stallone's, like from the Barbie movie, how he had like that
Oh,
big
sure.
fur coat. Yeah.
I like. I just like that his Canadian accent.
Stallone was in Barbie? What?
Oh no, they just reference like this one photo of Sylvester Stallone from like the 1980s where he has this like, huge like fur coat on.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I was making a joke about the Canadian accent, but you guys just trampled over it twice. It's okay.
No. There's a couple times where the Canadian accents.
Couple times?
Yeah, where they kind of like sneak out.
Yeah.
A little bit. A boot.
A boot.
Check
it out.
Check it out. But we see where this is when we meet Lieutenant Ken Fuller, played by the great John Saxon.
The great John Saxon.
He steps in and he tells Chris and Jess to step in his office, and he's like, hey, bring me the file on Claire and we can like get to it, because we also find out that there's this little kid that's missing as well.
Little girl.
This little girl, like 12 or 13, who's been missing now. And we hear like the parent, like one of the parents, like reporting the missing daughter and stuff. And it's really, you think it's just like a background thing, but it kind of like comes to the foreground.
Yeah. And it gives a lot of really good dog actors a chance to shine.
Yeah.
See those dogs?
Hell yeah.
They were looking for. They were working real hard. Those good dogs. Good
And
wolf
they're
wolves.
Freaking awesome. So back at the sorority house, Mrs. Mack, Barb, and Phil, and Mr. Harrison, they're all eating dinner and making some small talk. And that's when Barb brings up turtle sex and zebra sex. And she's a little, drunk at this point. And Barb kind of has like this outburst. She's like, you all think it's my fault, don't you? And
Yeah, we all thought that.
yeah, I never thought that.
I didn't
was
either.
Like, no one thought that, right?
Did I say Henry Henderson? I think I meant Harry. I meant Harry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Are you talking about the president?
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me this long to remember wait a second. I said Henry.
I thought you said Harry.
No, did I?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I
don't know.
I thought you were talking about that president that died in 30 days.
that one.
William Henry Harrison.
Yeah, that guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Remember him? We are the mediocre president. We won't find our faces on dollars or on cents. Ever see that, EJ?
No, what is that?
The mediocre president's number on The Simpsons.
No, I haven't.
They do they do a little musical number featuring all the presidents who didn't really accomplish much. The unremarkable presidents.
Oh no.
I'm William Henry Harrison. I died in 30 days. It's pretty good.
It's like Yoda, just being like in Return of the Jedi. He's around for like hundreds of years, and he's like, "Oh, gotta go.
I got to go. I must. 900 years old age.
I'm out of here." So,
Plot no longer needs me.
Phil does call her out for being like a little drunk, like because Barb is like, "You all think it's my fault, right?" Like because I talked back to the guy and kind of sassed the caller, and that's when like Phil's like, "Barb, you're just drunk. It's okay. Like, just go to bed."
Margot Kidder plays drunk very well.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you watch people in movies and they're like pretending to be drunk, but you're like, you're going a little too hard, sir.
Yeah.
It's a very respectable drunk performance, and she may have been drunk. We
One
don't
of the
know.
best acting things I've ever heard. I think it was Jenna Fisher talked about it. She's like
Pam?
Talked about the best way to play drunk is by pretending to be sober. And so like a lot of times, and I was like, oh, that's so true. Anytime I'm around like people who are like really drunk, they're trying to be sober. So like if you have that mindset and you're trying to be like playing drunk, don't play drunk and like try to play it like you're sober. Like you're drunk,
you're trying to get sober?
Yeah, you're trying to play like I'm not drunk.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. And she's
I've been
like,
trying to get sober all night.
one of these days you will.
Yeah, I just start. I literally drink all day long. I pass out and I wake up and I just start drinking again.
Yeah.
I'm like Mrs. Mac. I got the fucking booze in my books and the.
Mrs. Mac rules.
Yeah.
She's awesome. No, but I thought that was a really good acting note. And I feel like Margot Kidder is doing that. Like, she's not playing, like, belligerent, right? She's playing, like, I'm not drunk, like, she is, but she's
also
not
very
overacting.
comfortable in it, too.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't see a lot in movies where somebody's just kind of, like, comfortable being drunk all the time. Like, I like this. I like being drunk.
Yeah.
That's how she plays it.
Margot Kidder is freaking awesome in this. So Peter's
Wouldn't it be
recital...
funny if one of the Superman movies, it was him trying to get her help?
Oh, yeah. He's like, Lois, we got to get you help.
It's just like, all the powers that I have, all these wonderful powers, and I can't sober her up.
Well, you know what's weird
It's really funny if he like
Superman 3, he becomes a drunk.
He does.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Would it be funny that he has like the super breath?
Yeah.
What if he just like sucked it in more and just started pulling all the alcohol out of her body? And then he just starts
He's like,
throwing
I can
up.
see your liver. It's gone. There's nothing there. Here's my X-ray vision. You got nothing left.
James Gunn, here's some notes for your new Superman movie.
Let's see this
Superman
happen.
takes Lois Lane to AA.
So we see where Peter's recital went really well. And is at this point, the guys like take off. And Peter's there, like, with his piano and just starts destroying this piano.
See, I think it would have been awesome if he just, like the audience is watching him just fuck up real bad. And then those guys stand up and they're like, you're in!
You're in.
That took guts.
But I would say that took guts. You got what it takes, kid. But him destroying the piano sounded, like, better than him playing it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought so. I was, like, more in tune.
It's also what I imagine Axl Rose looks like all the time.
Where do we go now? I can't play piano anymore. So over at the sorority house, everyone leaves except Mrs. Mack and Barb. Jess and everyone else go out on this search party to look for Claire. Meanwhile, Mrs. Mack, she's packing up to leave. And here's Claude. So she's like looking around the house for Claude, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna check the attic, where she finds Claire dead, sitting in this chair with like the plastic wrapped around her, and that's when she like turns her head, and we see where she gets a hook to the head by the killer. I do love how they build that scene up. You just see him like this killer. Like kind of like holding it back, like having like the struggle of like pulling it back all the way, this tension.
Yeah, and he just looks like real angry.
Yeah, and you just see like this rage-filled.
It's probably the most scary thing you could see before before something
Oh
like
my
that
God.
happens. He was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy means business.
It's
This is not a
insane.
guy you reason with.
But yeah, she gets like a hook like right to the face, basically, by this killer. Then we get this awesome POV of the killer freaking out. So he is like just trashing this
Speaking
attic.
of Tommy Wiseau,
Yeah, basically it's like Tommy was so in the room. Why are you doing this to me? Lisa, everybody betray me. I'm fed up with this world.
dude, how awesome would it have been if they cut outside the sorority to the TV land?
You just see this TV fly out the window. I'm fed up with this world. Billy, Agnes, where are you?
You're tearing me apart, Billy.
You're tearing me apart, Billy.
Oh, hi, Agnes.
Oh, hi, Agnes. Can we like edit this? You know what? Let's ask Adam to edit this together. Maybe it can happen where he could just put the sounds of Tommy Wiseau in the attic.
I'm fed up with this world.
I'm fed up with this world. In a few minutes, bitch. So we this movie is super well directed. Like I love this movie, and
Are we talking about the room still?
yeah, I'm still talking about the room. So the search party, they end up finding the dead kid, but it's not clear. Like at first, they kind of have this misdirection, right, where one of the friends like sees something, and you think, oh, she found Claire, and because you're not sure how much time has passed, like between the house and the search party, but it turns out to be the little kid that they found, and not Claire.
It's okay. It's someone else's dead kid.
It's just the dead kid.
It's okay.
It's
not
all
her.
good. No one.
Oh,
worry
thank
about it.
God.
It's a solid transition. I love that transition.
Yeah.
The mother screaming, but then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the phone layered on top of it.
Yes. Yeah.
It cuts to the next scene. Love it.
Oh, so good.
Solid.
Yeah, we see where now Jess leaves the search party, heads home, and she gets a call from the stranger. And
Tommy.
Tommy, the moaner, and hey, how's your sex life? And that's when Peter shows up and gets informed what was going on, and immediately Peter asks if a computer named Tal is involved. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
No,
but that'd be good.
I wish he did. No, but I like he was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Claire's missing. We're getting all these strange phone calls," and he's just like, "All right, cool. So we should talk about the baby, right?" So Peter asks, you know, is there any word about like what's going on with Claire? And then that's when she gets a call about the kid being found dead in the park, and she's upset, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And so she tells him, and then Peter is like, "You know, this seems like a really good moment. I'm gonna ask you, we should get married." And she's like, what? No. She has like no interest at all. She's like, "I just told you a kid died," and you're like immediately like, "Hey, let's get married."
I know. I thought it was kind of romantic.
I thought this was the right time. But
Did I not read The Room?
yeah, I'm not reading the room, right? So at the police station, Sergeant Nash, we have this great scene where Saxon asks about fellatio. He's like, because him and the other like this one detective, I don't know his name, but they start laughing because he sees like the number for
And
the
that's
sorority
a
house.
great laugh.
And that his partner's laugh is like super contagious. It's so funny. And he's like, "What's up with this number?" He's like, "Fellatio." He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I think it's a new exchange." And they're like just laughing, like, "What a fucking idiot."
He's like, a new exchange.
A new exchange.
She gave it to me. She gave it to
She
me.
gave it
She
to you.
gave it to you. So Jess and
John
Peter.
Saxon does a good job of talking to an idiot.
Yes, he does. Yeah. He's, oh, man, he's just, He was the best. So we see Jess and Peter argue over the baby, and Jess asks Peter to leave. And that's when he kind of like brushes past Fuller. Like he pushes Fuller out of the way. It's not like he's like, oh, excuse me. And then he like leaves. He literally just like pushes Fuller out of the way. He's like, what the fuck? And, but they decide to put a tap on the phones and get more info about the calls coming in and more on Claire. So he puts a car on the house to make sure they have like a lookout. And we then see the killer leave the attic again and sneak into Barb's room. But Barb yells out, and it's kind of like a false alarm. And she's just waking up from like this asthma attack. And I love that Andrea's like, "Are you okay?"
It's like a nightmare too.
Like a nightmare of maybe possibly the killer. Like she might have like actually seen what was going on. So Jess helps her out, and then that's when these group of carolers show up. And
I'm picturing Mrs. Deagle when she was gonna like toss the bucket of water on them.
Oh my god, yeah. She's like, "Oh, they're coming for me!
They've come for me!"
So meanwhile, the killer re-enters Barb's room and kills Barb with her unicorn, glass unicorn,
which is shot
decoration.
very artistically.
It is.
It's like
looks
beautiful.
So good. That's what the weird thing about this movie. It just like the lighting and the atmosphere is just so like feels very lived in.
Yeah,
even the house.
The movie feels very real, but then you have moments like this where it feels like you're watching like an art movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, just like watch it on YouTube, assholes. Whoever's listening to this, you can like watch the skill that Bob Clark actually had. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say even like when Barbara's being stabbed is very graceful. Like her arm, you know what I mean? Slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
Like a ballerina.
Yeah.
I see my arm moving.
I do. I see it too.
I think all the listeners see it.
Yeah.
See my arm moving.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. It does have like a nice slow motion, almost like a dance recital kind of thing happening. It's beautiful. It actually is like the way it's shot. It looks really good.
There's actually a scene too where Billy was just like dancing around the room.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that?
No.
He's doing like the Swan Lake thing. It's real cool.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, man. Why don't you watch the extras before we do these episodes?
I never do.
You can see Billy dance.
And you notice the skull in the background? This is a very nice touch. You wait, did you see it recently, EJ? The movie?
Well, Black Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably watched it like a week ago. Yeah.
Did you notice in that scene the skull?
No.
Go back and watch it. It's cool.
So what is it?
It's when he's penetrating her with the unicorn, glass unicorn. Like you can see it in the background. It's just a skull. I think there's like, Rory, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a cool touch.
So it's like a picture of like a skull.
No, it's not. It's an actual skull. I don't know if it's framed or a piece of like art.
Yeah.
But
it's neat.
It's neat.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and
see. This is why I don't talk. I just sit here because it just sounds stupid. I don't know.
No, you don't sound stupid. You don't sound stupid.
Did you see the skull?
We do put
a skull in the background. That was awesome.
I'm gonna put a laugh track over
awesome.
all your comments are gonna get a laugh track.
Yeah, I like it.
I wish my whole life was a laugh track.
Wouldn't you like that?
Just walking around, getting laughed at.
Yeah.
It would make more sense.
Make you lose people in your life.
Yeah, all the
people
time.
People die. You just hear like a laugh track.
What?
That's what I want to hear.
So.
Ooh.
I always love that the audience reaction.
Yeah, these are all the Full House ones.
Yeah, I
you know what's funny? Like people had to record. Like they were using the laugh track in like 80s and 90s. Like so people had to be in a booth like laughing.
Yeah.
And there's always that one person who just stands out. Even if you like listen to somebody laughing, there's one person, one jerk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they didn't catch the one guy that's like, this show sucks.
And there's always like the one lady laugh that's like super loud too.
I would love to do that.
Get
Like,
Oh my
paid.
god, yeah.
get paid to laugh.
Be a
Like I was
Wow.
featured in this episode. That's me laughing.
And like, do you think they're like showing actual footage of like people falling down a cliff or whatever? You know what I mean? To like
Right.
to invoke laughter.
Oh yeah.
Or they just like, okay, laugh.
yeah,
You know what I
It's
mean?
just like, laugh on cue, and you're like,
I need some material. you
Yeah.
know?
We're gonna show you footage of clowns.
Somebody like slipping on ice or something. And
This is man slipping on banana peel.
that's funnier than ice.
what if someone's like, this sucks? Like, get him out! Get him out! So then we see where Jess tells. Oh no, Jess gets another call, but the call wasn't long enough to trace. So Jess tells Phil that the person
Because they're like trying to trace the call at the police station now.
right,
Yeah.
and that's when Jess kind of tells Phil, she's like, whoever it was kind of quoted Peter like word for word.
Because he says like you're trying to
It's
remove.
it's like having a wart removed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she hears this over the phone and she's like, yeah, that's the same thing Peter said to me before he like left. So then another call comes in and this time it's Peter begging Jess to keep the baby. He's like, keep the baby, please. And then he abruptly like hangs up and then Detective Fuller asks Jess about Peter and what's going on. And they determine it's probably not Peter.
Do you notice? Excuse me. That scene where Jess and Phil are talking. If you look closely, because I've seen this film so many times, do you see there's movement in the background? Watch it again.
Yeah, yeah. No, you
Oh,
see
sure.
like someone
Like
in
shadow,
the
yeah.
background,
Yeah.
walking. Yeah, like kind of watching and kind of It's creepy. It's really good.
Maybe it was like
It's
that
subtle.
that stagehand in that Simpsons gag. Is that a stagehand? Guy's back sits on the hole.
He's just sitting there, he's like eating a donut, taking a smoke break.
Jimmy, you're on the shot. What?
Bob Clark's like, "I'll let him go. He's my sister's
Jim,
son.
get out of the shot, huh? Jim, we can see you.
It's my sister's boy. Let him go. It's all right."
He's not too smart, but he's a good boy.
He's Clark. Let him be.
Clark.
So Detective Fuller.
I'm in the movie. That's right, Clark. You sure are.
Clark. So Detective Fuller looks into Peter, and at the house, Phil and Jess are going around locking the doors and windows.
Clark.
And then Jess gets a call, and this time the cops are able to trace the call, and that the call is actually coming from inside the house. So Fuller tells Nash. Nash is like the sergeant. He's kind of like an idiot. He's like, okay,
You have one job.
Yeah, call Jess and tell her to get out of the house as fast as she can. Right? Just have her get out of the house. Don't say anything about the call coming from inside the house. And so as soon as Nash calls Jess, he's like, hey, just get the phone, put it down, and walk out of the house, right? And she's like, why? And that's when he's like, well, the call's coming from inside the house. Like, he wastes, like, no time
Come
telling
on,
her.
Jess.
Yeah.
The call's coming from inside the house.
So Jess yells for Phil and Barb, because Phil at one point is like, I'm going to go check on Barb. And we don't necessarily see what happens to Phil, but we do assume the worst. So Barb grabs a fire poker, and she heads upstairs to find her friends and finds that the two are dead. And she ends up coming across the killer, and the reveal of the killer is so cool because you only
It's like
see
his eye.
yeah, his eyes are like red. Like
Yeah, they're real cool looking.
yeah, it's really creepy and eerie, and you don't really see like his face necessarily, but like maybe like part of it. It's really cool. But she escapes to the basement, and as she's down in the basement, she like locks the door and stuff, and she's like roaming around in the basement, and she sees, the shadow on the outside, like walking around the house. And then at one point she sees that it's actually Peter, and he's like, hey, Jess, it's me, Peter, let me in. Right. And so she's like, whoa, like this is weird, and she doesn't really trust Peter. So yeah, she actually tries to like dip back and hide towards the back of the basement, and that's when Peter breaks the glass, which is probably like
the most suspicious thing you could do.
Yeah, like a very suspicious thing to do. Like you didn't
help your cause.
Right, it didn't help your cause. But at one point, he like climbs down into the basement and he sees Jess in the back. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing back there?" And then we hear like
a scream.
Yeah, and then it cuts away, and we see where all the cops are like pulling up to the house, and that's when they find Jess in the basement, passed out over Peter, who is dead. And we assume, like, yeah, she killed him. Like, she was like, this is the person terrorizing.
That's sort of ambiguous. Like, I don't know what happened to him.
Right.
I don't know if, like, if Billy, whoever Billy is, killed him and left them like that. Because, like, you never really get anything from her. She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, she saw him
kill Peter?
Possibly. Because she's like, I don't know, is she like in shock or something? Because like she spends the rest of the movie in bed.
Well, Billy wasn't able to get down into the basement. He gave up like after a minute.
Maybe he came through the window too.
That's possible.
I don't know. Like it's.
I always assumed she.
But what did she do?
She had a fire poker.
Yeah, maybe she like stabbed him.
You think she stabbed him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I always assumed it was her, like, because like I said, like Peter didn't do himself any favors,
like
breaking into the house.
Relax, I didn't kill any of her friends. I was too busy killing the girl in the park.
Right. Plus the telephone thing, like the weren't removed, and I feel like that seemed, like.
But that was a very popular thing to
right.
say back then on college
true.
Campuses.
So the cops, they kind of find Jess. They put her to bed, and at her house, like still in the sorority house, and as they're like, "Oh, is she okay?" They're like, "Oh, she's really out of it. Let her rest for now." Unfortunately, we did find, the other dead bodies in the house, and they found like the two, Barb and Phil. Yeah. And they all head out of the house. Like all the cops pretty much clear out and leave Jess alone in the house. And
great decision.
Yeah. And we see where up in the attic, Jess isn't actually alone. Like the killer is still inside in the attic. And we get this great thing where you see Claire's father kind of like walking out of the house, and he like looks back, but you see from like the window, you could definitely see Claire in the window with like the plastic still over her. It's such a creepy image. And as they're all leaving this house, they're all clearing out of there. It kind of just stays there, and the credits start to roll, and you're like, oh my god! And you hear the breathing of the killer
on the phone.
Yeah.
I also like that like you see her in the window, and the camera kind of pulls out and shows like that wide.
Oh my
it's
god!
Again,
it's
like
amazing.
really good filmmaking.
This movie is so freaking good. I know we cover like a lot of horror movies on here.
We do?
Yeah. I think this is one of the best directed. If I had to pick like a top 5 directed best horror movies, I would
probably up there with like this and like when we cover The Shining.
Yeah. I think like The Shining, this is up there as far as directing goes. Even the story itself, it's like incredible. But yeah, I love this movie, and I was so glad you picked this. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Margot Kidder is outstanding. So is everybody in this movie is just great. I feel like everybody, plays their part awesome.
Do you think Claude the cat was the actual killer?
I think Claude was definitely involved.
I think so too.
He definitely was involved.
He's got his little paw prints all over this thing.
Yeah. So Matt, when was the first time you saw this movie, and when did it kind of become like one of your favorites?
And when did you start to suspect Claude the cat was actually one of the killers?
Immediately.
Okay.
I'm watching.
All right.
Yeah.
So I remember I was in high school, and I was hanging out with my friends, and I think we were playing Pogs.
Yeah.
No, a friend put it on, and it was playing in the background, and I didn't really pay much attention to it, but that was like the first time I remember hearing about it. But again, I was a kid, I didn't really care. And then
Now when you have so many pogs.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. No, and then
That's the story.
That's the story.
I just want to go into the slammers for a while.
Yeah.
No.
Get one of those gold ones. Those are
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so it was playing in the background, statically, and I wasn't paying attention to it. And then it was probably, I don't know, 10 years later, maybe.
I was still playing with pogs.
Still do. I actually found a few slammers.
Do you have any 8-ball ones?
No, I have one of those, like, I have a Power Rangers. I seriously just found, because I'm
Shut
still
up. That's
cleaning out the
amazing.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found a few in, like, the attic.
I remember like anything with like yin yangs.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
very 90s.
it would be like skulls, like fire skulls
Yeah.
or something, and then 8-balls or like cue ball, like pool type things, but especially 8-ball. Like that was always like the hot pogs that people wanted.
If
I don't know.
anybody understands what we're talking about right now, you're probably like Generation X.
Right? Yeah.
You're our
Maybe,
age,
I don't
I
know.
guess.
But you
No.
found your Power Ranger ones?
Yeah. I
You
did.
should sell them
No way.
for
I have,
drugs.
it, I have it framed. It's above the bed.
Oh, neat.
It's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, it might have been middle school. It was. I was young because I wasn't playing with Pogs in high school.
Liar.
Yeah. But
Scumbag.
the point is, when we get to your question, we answer your question. I don't even remember. It was when did
Yeah. So the first time you saw it was probably high school.
yeah, middle school, high school. It was on in the background. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Then, like 10 years later, I ended up just, I think I rented it, or I can't remember how I got my hand, or I think I just bought it on a whim, and I put it in and I watched it, and it was when I got to the end, is when it solidified like my love for the film, because the end is it's incredible. Like what you never find out who the killer really is.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
have
and-
no idea.
Right, and I think it's the panning out from the house, and I was like, but when you hear the phone ringing,
Yeah.
that was for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, and I fell in love with it instantly. And then I remember trying to like show it to everybody, all my friends, and like, don't you hate when you show something to somebody and you can tell they don't care?
Yeah.
They're just not into it.
Yeah.
And that was every time I tried showing somebody this movie.
Yeah.
Because
It's the worst. It
good-
sucks
right.
because you're like, oh my god, this movie is
Wait
so
till you
good.
see this movie that changed my life.
Yeah.
yeah,
The movie sucks. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
I get it.
That hurts.
It's kind of slow. It's dated, and meaning like the you know what I mean, like the clothing, the giant coat. You know, it looks like Harry Henderson.
Yeah, but no one
Harry
who
Henderson,
cares
not
about
Henry.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
you should. And no one else should. You know when people talk about why movies should be remade and they're like, well, their outfits were totally outdated and the music. And I'm like, are you people like unable to comprehend the fact that the world existed before you were born?
Yeah.
Like,
There's
fuck
people
you.
who just don't watch black and white movies because
They're dumb. But anyway,
Yeah. So EJ, see, this is why I don't like talking, because I don't even. What are we talking about?
Oh,
why
so
I love
it,
this
it
movie.
Just, so
Dude,
you-
I
it became one of your
I
favorites.
can't explain it.
don't panic,
yeah.
man.
I can't explain it.
You're good. You're safe here.
I don't feel safe with the knife like pointed in my direction.
And because I've been licking my lips the entire time that you've been here.
I don't feel safe.
I don't feel safe at Freakquents.
I never feel safe.
That should be a review for our show. I don't feel safe at Freakquents.
I never feel safe here.
But like you
I'm wearing a bulletproof vest.
oh good. I told you to wear the Kevlar because I just didn't know what was going to happen tonight.
So this came into like heavy rotation every year now for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I would do Bob Clark Christmas, and I remember being in college, and I felt terrible. so I was dabbling in photography. Oh gosh, my nose hit the mic. Gosh, why you bring me here? Terrible. Like, I don't even want to do. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to podcast. So that's why I don't start my. I should start my own podcast.
You should put on the podcast hat, and then you'll feel stronger.
Yeah.
Put it on. It's a giant sombrero for everybody who can't see it right now.
See, my brain is all over the place. So I
It's
want
okay.
like another thought.
Can I ask you a question?
No, because you're gonna get sidetracked. Because I want to.
Well, this is all about it. I'm trying to help you.
Let me finish my thought because another thought jumped in my mind. It's like a haunted house up there. It's terrible. So anyway, I was dabbling in photography. I was seeing this woman, this girl, whatever, woman, and I made her put a plastic bag over her head so I can take pictures that look like Claire from Black Christmas. Like I still have them, and I had I gave her a doll and everything, and I had like candles. And it was kind of like a frat house. It wasn't a frat house, but there was definitely like 5 dudes that were living in the house. So they'd walk by. I feel terrible. I don't know. That's like I got really into it. That's how into it. I mean, I'm obsessed. I guess I get obsessed when I'm really into something, hardcore. But I remember that.
Yeah.
Did that girl pass out? The back on her head?
No, I well, just like
they never found it.
No, I think she's still alive. I hope so. No, I gave her breaks. I was like, all right.
Keep that fucking plastic on your
Can
head.
I take the bag off my head?
Never.
I could see you breathing. Stop.
If anything, I'm going to need to tighten this thing.
No, I mean, I gave her hot cocoa.
Yeah.
You know, after each shot, here you go. Breathe.
I don't want hot cocoa. I just want to go home.
I think she ended up breaking up with me after that.
Well,
Wow.
it's okay, man.
No. She stayed together. We stayed together for a little bit. Anyway.
Just too afraid to leave.
But so then you ended up so you do like Bob Clark Christmas. You watch this on Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day.
No. All on Christmas. Yeah, thank you. See,
Yeah.
I forgot I even mentioned that. This is my stupid brain. It goes
No,
all over the
you're
place.
good. Yeah. No, I got
It goes
you.
off
I
the
got
rails,
you.
man. Off the rails.
So you watch this
Christmas Story first.
Oh, okay.
And then Black Christmas.
Oh, awesome.
It's about
yeah.
Black Christmas in honor because he passed. Him and his son, they got hit by it was a car accident.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
They were hit by a drunk driver.
That sucks.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
The son passed away with him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Brutal.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
so in honor of Bob Clark, that's what I would do. But I haven't, and because I just saw the movie in the theater, I probably won't watch it Christmas Eve, or maybe I will.
Yeah. It's great.
But
I
it
mean,
is, and it's like every time I'm dating somebody, like I force them to watch it with me.
Put the bag on your head.
With the bag.
With the bag.
I
I can't really see anything.
It's okay.
I'm
You
like-
don't need to.
I'm like, the movie's an hour and a half. Let's see how long you can hold your breath with this bag over your head.
No, I feel like that's the weird thing too. This movie is an hour and a half, and it really flies. I feel like you watch it, and it moves really well. It doesn't feel like
Doesn't dick around.
Yeah, you're not like checking like, you know how there's times when we watch movies, and we're like, oh, this has to be over, and it's like 20 minutes in, and you're like, oh no, this is a little like taking forever.
We're talking about you, Carmen.
Yeah, The Howling 3 was the marsupials. Was a long movie.
That was a long, short movie.
But
And
yeah,
if you
this
can
flies.
beat my last girlfriend's record, you can have peach cobbler.
I don't want peach cobbler. I just want to go home.
Do you have like a favorite character in this or characters?
You should have. I wish I got these questions beforehand. So I can think,
screen
because,
them. Yeah,
Yeah, I have
You're
to
like a
screen.
politician. You're like, I need to approve it first.
My brain is so slow to process things.
It's okay, man. You've been through a lot.
I have. Sitting here with you, it's torturous.
My
It's a
odor.
nightmare.
My odor's terrible. You don't feel safe.
He doesn't feel safe.
Safe
Your
on
odor
Freakquents.
is off the
It's
radar.
really a
There's
problem.
no heat in here. Man, Barb. one of them,
Yeah.
and Nash for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
All
definitely
of
like a
them.
Fuller fan. Yeah,
And that's the hard part, right? Because everybody feels real. Like
yeah,
all the characters are just they're great. And as you alluded to, well, you didn't allude, you were explicit. Like everyone just feels real. Like they're not cannon fodder. Like if you get into like the 80s slashers, right? They're disposable. You don't really know. There's no like not to say there was a lot of development with these characters, but they had a personality.
yes,
You
absolutely.
know, yeah. They're not just a rock, just hanging out on the shore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. I feel like these characters, like, if you compare this to, like, Friday the 13th, right? Friday the 13th is just throwing people randomly in there that are getting murdered left and right. Most of them. Not every single Friday the 13th, but most of the time that's what it feels like. It's just, like, characters come in just to get killed.
Yeah.
And
That seventh one, there's a lot of characters who would just show
up and then get murdered.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. Because it's like, oh, my cousin's on their way in. And it's like, oh.
To be fair, though, like that's sort of what Friday the 13th is.
That's what it is, but yeah. But this, it has like characters that aren't, like, you see one get killed right away, but you don't see anything really happen until like, you know, like 3/4 of the movie.
What, this movie? I zoned out for a second.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you see like one immediate death, but then like you don't see anything for a while.
Yeah, again,
And,
the film is virtually bloodless, apart from a few shots of the
Right.
unicorn, the tip of the unicorn, with blood on it. But yeah, and I lost my train of thought. Help me out.
I'll just tell you what I think about the movie. I'll do
Oh,
it.
I totally forgot. I'm like looking at EJ the whole time, and I should be looking at both of you.
It's okay. He's magnetic.
Oh, he is.
I do have a Christmas sweater on,
Yeah,
so
it's pretty good.
for the occasion.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rory.
So I remember watching this for the first time. This was a period of my life where I was watching any horror film that I could just get my hands on.
Yeah.
So I was kind of watching a lot of like foreign horror films, and then I was just digging around in a lot of 80s trash, and then I found this one. And here's the funny thing: from all the crap that I watched, this one was like a light in the darkness.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I popped it on, and you just immediately, I'm like the way it opens, like the POV, like going into the sorority house. I'm like, oh, that's a really great choice, right? And then I'm like, well, he stole it from Halloween, and then I look at the date, and I'm like, oops, maybe not, Mr. Clark. I owe you an apology, some Christmas cookies, perhaps. But there's like legit craft in this movie. And then it feels like there's this weird shot in it that I love. They like look out the window and you just see like the dead trees and like the street and like kind of like going off into the darkness, and it literally looks like what you see when you look out your own window. There's like an authenticity to this film, right?
Yeah.
And like
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
it's so authentic. And then like when you get into the sorority house, there's like the Christmas lights and the fireplace. There's like a warmth to it. And so like the movie to me, like I just remember watching it and being like, this movie looks good. Like I like all the characters, as we were just talking about. They're all personable. They're fun. And then the killer, like in my head, somewhere in the back of my head, I'm like, just like, please don't show him. Because they spent so much time not showing that like whoever the reveal is at the end just wouldn't have been good enough. And Bob Clark was smart enough not to show you, so that like you take this fear out of the theater of like it could be anyone.
Yeah.
Billy could be anybody who just decides to crawl into your window one night and just start fucking killing you for no good reason. And it's really cool that they not cool, but it's a nice little detail to have him actually killed like a kid in the park.
Yeah.
Hey. Having actually like killed people like that little girl in the park, because it's sort of like it's not just the sorority house, it's just anybody that he happens to come across, and that's also very frightening.
Yeah.
So to me, like this movie, it just has like this level of like groundedness and like a level of like just like a legit creepiness to it like a nice fear factor.
Yeah,
That a lot of
absolutely.
other films, I see them try to do this and they can't replicate it, but I just think it's like one of those movies that's unfortunate that not a lot of people have seen. Like I bring it up to people and they've seen
Absolutely.
the remake
Yeah,
from the 2000s,
5. Yeah,
but not this one, and it's a shame because I think it really should be spoken in the same breath as like a Friday the 13th or a Halloween or a Nightmare on Elm Street in that classic level. But as it stands, it's unfortunately just sort of like a cult classic, if
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah. No, I would say the same. I saw this. Well, I actually saw the remake first. Then I went and watched this, and then I immediately loved this because I did like the remake. The remake, but I didn't know what to compare it to. Right, so I had no idea. I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. I want to see the original." And then I saw the original. And I'm like, "I love the original. The original is like really, really good." And then when I saw it was directed by Bob Clark, I went, "Not that Bob Clark,
right?
And it was that Bob Clark, and I was like, "Wow," which blew me away too, because I'm like, this guy made a legendary Christmas movie and then did it again. So it's incredible. I do like what you were saying, like the outside, it feels cold and there's snow everywhere, the
You
decorations.
feel the movie.
And you feel cold, right? But then when it's inside the house, it's kind of subverting your expectations. There's this warmth and it feels safe. But we know, the audience knows it's not safe, but it feels safe because there's all like the fireplace, and like, you know, like all this stuff is going. It's incredible. The directing in this movie is outstanding. The performances, the music is a lot of fun.
It's very minimal.
The POV stuff is kind of fascinating. Like, just to imagine how they like figured out how to like get someone, like a rig for someone to probably like climb up the wall to go into, you know, the attic and like figure all that out.
Did you ever see the one take where the guy actually like fell to his death?
No, is that
Because
true?
it's like really heavy camera.
Like, oh no.
Use it.
Clark went down. So
Use it.
use it. But no, this movie's great, and I couldn't recommend it anymore because I feel like this should be in your rotation as far as like Christmas movies, especially if you're a horror fan and love horror Christmas stuff. This is
Pop
like,
it in right after you watch Miracle on 34th Street.
hell
Same
yeah.
kind of movie.
Watch this movie. It's awesome. It's so good. Nick Mancuso does the voice on the phone, and it's creepy. It's gross. It's awesome. He's like, and then like this guy rules.
Sounds like Reagan McNeil.
Yeah. But yeah, everything about this movie rules. I love it. So let's go into our emojis. All right, I'll start us off.
Go nuts.
Actually, I have a Christmas tree, a chair, and then I have like an ornament, that kind of thing. It looks like an ornament almost. And then a telephone for like the phone calls.
Cool.
Yeah. How about you?
I have a cat for Claude.
Yep.
I got a slew of wolf of dogs.
Yes.
And I have 2 turtles banging.
Nice.
And then I have 2 zebras also banging.
Ooh. All right.
Because
Mr. Renaldi?
that said in them. Hey, I'm not done.
Oh. Jesus.
And there's a Christmas tree that the turtles were next to when they got intimate. It's a part in the movie. You can watch it. You can see it on Amazon Prime or wherever it is that you watch your
Tubi.
movies.
It's on Tubi for free right now.
Well, I don't believe
in case
Tubi's a real
people-
thing, but that's fine.
And Shudder and Peacock.
Yeah.
Watch the mouth.
I own like every version of this film except VHS. I'm hunting for that, but it's crazy ridiculous. Like if you go on eBay, it's like over $100, almost $200. So
That's
I'm hoping to
crazy.
find out in the wild when I go thrifting, but it's probably it's a rare find. I have a unicorn,
Yep.
an eyeball,
Yes. Yeah.
and a glass of booze.
Ooh. Yeah. Heck yeah.
There you go.
Before booze.
Would you like to add?
For booze.
Would you like to add 2 turtles?
And 2 turtles humping.
There you go.
Perfect. All right.
Make that 3.
Make that 3.
One who's just watching it happen.
Yeah, one just watches.
One that watches.
All right, let's go into plugs. Mr. Rinaldi, you could start us off.
I'd rather not.
What about
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
don't you?
You're the founder of Gravy Diggers.
They took away your space.
I know. I don't know why Vince did that to me.
Yeah.
I know. I actually know.
Has it been
why.
hard living in the basement?
Yeah. I think he's jealous.
He wanted to take
he
over
was.
the
of
pot
my
pie
success.
business.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you plug your pot pies? Come on, man.
Gravy Diggers, and I was thinking before when I had a bunch of thoughts pop up that this film inspired me. I think I want to start. I want to bring back the hotline. Like the phone calls really inspired me.
Yeah.
And I just want to have a hotline I want to expand on Gravy Diggers, and I just want it to be about chicken pot pies. You can call in and talk about Popeyes with me.
Oh my
you don't
God.
have to
That-
be alone tonight. If
Just
you
call me.
we'll get you a pot pie.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
You don't think I'll get sued for that, right? Copyright.
No.
The melody's there, but
Oh,
the
is
lyrics are
The
different.
melody? I don't know.
We don't know
I don't think
melody.
it's- Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we should be fine. You should be fine.
You should be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Gravy Diggers and maybe a hotline.
Yeah.
1-800-POT-PIE. This is
Ooh.
with the Z.
Ooh, that's good.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Mm.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, there is something brewing. I've been jamming with people, friends. So, yeah,
Nice.
there's something brewing, but I don't have anything yet as far as like names or recordings, but there's something brewing. And
Cool.
I linked back up with a friend we used to play together years ago. We were in a band together, and yeah, we started talking, and he's been coming over, and we've been jamming. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell
What's it
yeah,
like
man.
having friends?
It's weird.
I don't have those.
Well, it feels good once in a while, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm just like, I'd rather not have friends. So then
Put
that's
the bag on your
put
head
the exactly. See?
Bag.
See?
Can you put this on for me?
while you drum. What?
Put this on. Don't stare at it.
So something in development, you say?
Have something in development. Yeah. And that's how I weed out like the women who I feel like just aren't going to be able to like match me. I'm like, if you can outdo this record, can you outdo an hour and a half in this bag? If you can, we're gonna be good.
If you could survive
And you get a
the
slice of
plastic
pie.
bag.
And you get a slice of pie.
Yeah. Hell
So yeah, Gravy Diggers, okay, the hotline, and then potential development. Well, there's developing. Oh my gosh, my stupid brain. There's music developing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't wait, man.
I
love
can.
your music.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Well, it's me on the drums, so I mean,
That's the
Hell
whole
yeah.
thing.
yeah, that's it. Just me on the drums.
Are you playing like Peter while playing the piano?
Sweating.
This is terrible.
What's going on here?
I hire people like to sit underneath me, catching my sweat.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you hire people to just sit there and watch you from across the room?
Yes, and they have a notepad, and they look up at me, and they look down, and I don't know what they're thinking. I'm like, crap. And because I overthink, I'm like, they think I suck. So then I keep playing. I sweat more.
Yeah.
Drumsticks flat on my hand. They hit the one dude in the face. Other goes out the window. It's a travesty.
It's a travesty.
But that's life for you.
Yeah.
I got some plugs.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
I got Rave
I
View
have
Productions.
Hair
Hey, yeah. Rave View Productions. You can look it up on Facebook, YouTube. Got some fun stuff coming soon. Fourth Cut Reviews. Our keyboard warrior pal, Chris Conforti, doing
Yep.
his best at doing the fourth cut of reviews. We got Variant Season, our buddy Will Perna and his band, writing some killer tracks, some good rock music. We got the Gravy Digger of Diggers here. He's here, and he already plugged this, so I don't got to do that this week. But I did it anyways. Schwartz Dreamboat.
Oh, great.
Look him up. He's putting up some new stuff, and it always kills me, so that's pretty good. Real Chronicles. Our buddy Dave Gonzalez, friend of the show. You can check him out on Rotten Tomatoes. You can look up his podcast called Real Chronicles. I pop up on there sometimes. And you can look him up under the cinematic reel. And then most importantly, we got Kitties. Kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue.
First time plug for these guys. So
First time. Claude is a big fan. The cat.
Claude.
He's still around, and he works with them.
He's actually one of the founders.
He is.
Yeah.
He built it.
He built it with his paws.
And he did a good job. But in all seriousness, it's very cold out there right now during these winter months, and you should take the time to adopt some cats. If not, I don't know. I guess you're a bad person.
Yep. That's
what
right.
it is.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah, you can help out though, unless you're too selfish.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You can bring like blankets,
Food.
right? And food.
Yeah,
and
just help them out.
Toys.
You ever look at a
treats
cat's
and stuff.
face?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to just bring joy to that thing? But anyway, yeah, Kitties of NEPA. What do you got?
The use. Check out Adam Farley's music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to music. Same with Chris Alou, songs from the hallway. It's great. He has an EP. Check it out. New Metal Messiah, Jon Snow.
Metal Messiah, Jon Snow.
You check out his stuff. He is insane. He's so fun to watch.
The membrane
on stage. He is like, I don't know. He has this like power.
Yeah.
Right. Like you are captivated by his calves, and just sexiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take it home with you.
Yeah, you do. You take it home. But you can check out upcoming shows for Jon Snow on etc.com. I
Sure.
believe. So Eastern Tribute Collective. He also has a Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and so check that out because I'm telling you, you have to see this guy live. It's just amazing. Also, Elle Snow. She has a show coming up in January at Actor Circle. Check her out in the Scottish play. She's playing one of the witches, which is like...
What a stretch.
A super stretch for her. She has not done this before.
No.
No, but she is incredible. She's such a great actress. And then finally, check out Freakquents podcast.com where you can check out our podcast, our pictures. We have merchandise there.
Merch.
Yeah, we have merch like
You have
glassware.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we have t-shirts.
You have coffee mugs?
Yeah.
We have coffee mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have like the blood of Calarasi. What I don't know. What else is on there?
I don't know. All I know is that a bunch of real hungry kids make our stuff for us at a low wage.
low wage. Mike Vinci set it all up for us.
Da Vinci.
So make sure to check out Shanty Hill Design too, because they do such a great job on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out our
start-
website. It's awesome.
You should start selling plastic bags.
Oh my god.
With the
We
Freakquel-
should.
With the Freakquel logos on
Oh my
it.
god. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have like a gravy diggers thing though too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
if we
real?
don't mean
No, for real.
Yeah.
I think my grandma, somewhere in the house, I have to go digging for it, has a recipe for Popeye, and I'm like, you know what? I should make this a reality and stop joking about it. No, wait, it is real. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
I feed you Popeyes
Yeah.
all the time.
You go to Three Jacks.
Yeah.
You go to the men's bathroom. There's a hole, and he
Yeah.
just shoots the Popeyes into your face. So just
Hit the tap with your
It's
foot.
almost like a glory hole, but better.
right. This has
The
you
gravy
just,
hole.
You knock 3 times, and then you kick the wall at least once.
Yeah.
And then you're either gonna get gravy or Popeye. It's always we never know, but you take the chance. It's good. Check it out. They'll shoot it right
Anyway,
in your face.
Right in your...
So, all right. Now, with that being said, Thank you to our guest, Mathew Renaldi. Dude, Matt, I love you. I'm so happy you came back. Please come back again soon.
Thank you.
All right. And then, so thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
And just crushing it as usual. And thanks to Rory for just being awesome.
And since this is our Christmas episode, whatever holiday you choose to explore, weirdos, enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then, with that being said, thank you guys for listening. We love and appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And with that being said, thank you for listening to Nailed it. Crushed it. Billy, it's
Well, we did. I mean, it wasn't like we stayed home and watched it. We went to cinema.
We went to the cinemas.
Yeah.
And I bought a Nosferatu coffin.
Nerd.
Yeah. Do you remember that ridiculous sized popcorn that you?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
You gave it to me, and you know what? It's still on the counter. I haven't touched it.
You should have thrown it.
I should. I don't even know why I took it. I didn't want it.
You should have just thrown it at somebody walking by.
I should have.
Like when you were driving.
You know, I was captivated by the it was a free popcorn. Like, hey, we want this free popcorn, and I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And knowing that I wasn't gonna, I'm like, who's gonna eat that?
I know.
That's
you know
not
what's
for one
weird though?
person.
There's a fucking person out there that goes back for seconds.
There is,
Yeah.
and it's why we have.
And they're gonna be dead soon.
Yeah.
And the world will be better for it.
Wow.
Dark, right?
Oh.
I'm not here to be liked.
Yeah. I'm not here to be liked. I don't give a shit.